We all know there's no shortage of choices when it comes to buying silver, whether it's bars, generic rounds, government-backed bullion, art bars, etc. The list goes on. But there's a hidden risk involved with buying certain types of silver, and you have to ask yourself if they're worth adding them to your stack. I'm going to go over some examples and give you the best one toward the end of the video. You're going to want to stick it out because it is really an amazing silver coin, but one of the worst you can buy. Seriously. We're going to go over that and a lot more, so make sure you stay tuned. Hey, how you guys doing out there? Welcome to another episode of the Silver and Gold Stack Attack. Now, before I get rolling, I'd like to thank you for taking a few minutes out of your day to check out the new video. And, of course, for all the amazing support. You guys have done so much for the channel, and it really is humbly appreciated. Now, I've said it before, and I'm going to keep saying it. Best damn community on YouTube, without a doubt. Now, today, we're going to talk about the inherent risk of buying certain silver products, and why I think they should be bought on a limited basis, or not at all. You'll definitely want to catch this, so we're going to go ahead and roll it. Alright, the first category is what I call boutique silver, and this includes licensed stuff, collectibles, what they call chibis, or characters shaped in silver. Now this is actually a huge category, and everything in it has two things in common. One, they carry insane premiums, and two, they appeal to a niche audience. Now typically, these two things can be interpreted as hard to sell and a drop in price when you do, typically. If you can find someone who's just as enthusiastic about you for what you're selling, you'll be alright. But that's a pretty big if. And forget the LCS, guys. Forget that. You'll get raked over the coals if you try to sell this stuff to them. They can't possibly give you what you would get if you went peer-to-peer to sell it. For example, you see Blue here, the Velociraptor from Jurassic World. It's 2 ounces of silver, and it's selling for right around $200 or so, or, easy math, $100 an ounce. Now, the chibis can be expensive due to limited runs and licensing costs. But that Mountain Dew basketball, I'm still trying to figure that one out. Right now, it's selling in the 135 to 170 range for an ounce of silver. Now, granted, it's limited to a run of 5K, but would you really want to invest in that if you were just a casual fan of it? I know I wouldn't. You'd have to be one hell of a Mountain Dew fan for that one. Now, that said, I do like my licensed stuff from time to time, so I'm guilty as charged. Next up, we've got Colorized Bullion. Now, you've undoubtedly seen these and might even own a few. There are a couple of different ways these are manufactured. One is a process that applies the ink of the design directly to the coin, and another is actual enameled paint. Now, again, these are going to appeal to a smaller audience because not everyone is a fan of the colorized stuff. Hardcore stackers generally won't even sniff them. So, what makes these risky is their cost. They're more expensive to manufacture than a standard bullion coin, and they have limited runs. You're definitely going to pay a big premium on them, and you might lose your shirt if you try to resell them anywhere but peer-to-peer. Now, the proof of this, there is proof. It's constantly sitting in the display at my LCS. He's got a bunch of them, a bunch of colorized eagles just waiting for a new home, and never getting one. Now, some of these he's had for a really long time. There's just a really small market for them. Next category is Slabbed Bullion. I just don't get this. And I'm not talking about the limited stuff, cameos, proofs, limited runs, all that stuff. That's fine. I like to have my stuff certified if that's the case. I'm talking about regular, issued in the millions, silver bullion. It makes no sense to me. Who cares if you have one of the first ones struck? You can't even prove that. You don't know. You don't know. You're going by what the mint sent you, and you're slapping it into a plastic slab. I don't get it. To me, it's just a waste of time and money, but that's just my opinion. You might see them in a different light. Now, let's take that Noah's Ark, for example. Beautiful coin. It's currently a $28 bullion coin with a face value of 500 gram from Armenia. Pretty basic, right? But when you send it off to Slabbed, you're almost paying as much as you did for the coin itself. I'm seeing these sold on eBay for around 50 bucks. Almost double the cost for a mass-produced bullion coin. No thanks. No thank you. I'll pass. And that goes for the others you see here as well. Slabbed eagles, it's pointless. Moving on to 100-ounce silver bars. Look, here it is. Are these impressive? Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah, they're impressive. You feel like you're holding massive wealth in your hand when you hold one of these. Are they easy to unload when you're ready to sell? Not so much. You might get lucky and have a shop near you who will give you Maybe a competitive price at spot or just above, but again, your best bet is to go peer-to-peer with these. The vintage stuff, the Engelhard, obviously, you should be able to get something for that. Engelhard speaks for itself. But general 100-ounce bars, they're risky. They are risky. I had one some time ago, and I regretted buying it almost instantly. And then I sold it the first chance I had. I know my LCS is hesitant to take them on because they do tend to sit for a while. Not everyone has a couple $1,000s sitting around to spend on a hunk of generic silver. Now, if silver goes crazy in price, these would have no problem being sold, right? Not a problem. But while we're waiting to get there, they're not so easy. Plus, they're pretty heavy and pretty much indivisible when you think about it. You can't cut them up. Now, personally, I'd rather stick to the kilos and 10-ounce bars instead of anything larger. They just seem to have a lot more liquidity and much easier to store. So let's finish these up so I can get to that really cool silver coin I promised you. Now, these are the rest of the categories of silver that I would personally avoid for the most part. Not completely, but for the most part. And the first one, fractional silver. Look, I get it. These have a lot of fans out there. People love their fractional silver. I understand. There's a half ounce from Canada. Look, I just can't get past the premiums on these. A lot of supporters are going to tell you that these will be great. They're going to be awesome when the SHTF scenario rolls around, but I challenge that notion with this. In that situation, do you think anyone's going to want some funky-looking, shiny, silvery things that might be real when, hell, 95% of the population knows nothing about precious metals? Now, my thought is a no, at least not right away. They're going to be panicked and look for tangible items like food, water, meds, ammo, yada yada. You could try 90% silver, but those could be just as tough to convince the masses of their value. Again, 95% of the country knows nothing about this stuff. Next up, we've got foreign silver coins. Now, this is where I fall short personally because I love this stuff. I love the foreign silver. I've built up a pretty good size collection of it, and I have a blast looking through them, like this Balboa. I have actually collected a bunch of these. The one Balboa. Beautiful coin from Panama. Love them. You got the 5 pesos from Mexico with Cuauhtemoc on there. This is pretty popular. People love these. And my personal favorite, 50 francs from France with Hercules. This is a beast, guys. This thing is I thought the Cuauhtemoc was huge. This thing actually is a little bit bigger, believe it or not. So they're beautiful. These are beautiful coins, right? But here's the problem, liquidity. Some of them carry pretty big premiums. Actually, all three of those that I just showed you carry big premiums. And there's a very real risk that you might not get back what you paid for them if you try to sell them, because the market's just not a huge one for this stuff. It tends to be a niche crowd. And the coins I just showed you aren't cheap by any means, that's for sure. On average, you can probably expect $35 to $75 depending on condition. The ones I showed you are up there in condition, so they wouldn't be cheap. You're better off going peer-to-peer if you're going to sell this stuff. And last, 40 and 35% silver. Yeah, I know I'm going to catch some heat on this one because there are some huge fans of this stuff. I get it, but I avoid these for the most part. I literally own one 40% half dollar and two 35% war nickels. This is it. Only two war nickels I own. I just can't get down with 35% for whatever reason. Just because I can't doesn't mean anything. If you like them, by all means, stack them. They're just not for me personally. And I'm going to throw in an honorable mention, and that goes out to special edition stuff sold on purchasing platforms like Bradford Exchange, which I'm going to show you here in just a minute. Littleton Coin, American Mint, and all the others like that peddle just absolute garbage at insane prices. Their specialty stuff prices are just crazy. They're crazy, and they rarely go up in value. Matter of fact, they actually tend to lose a ton, as I'm getting ready to show you here in just a minute. And you should avoid platforms like Facebook ads, magazine ads, and the worst of the worst, HSN and Mike Mezak, the ripoff king of coins. This guy has sold more overpriced crap based on flat-out lies and exaggeration than anyone on the planet. It's criminal what this guy does because he preys on the uninformed and the elderly who only have access to TV and no internet to research all the bull crap that comes out of this guy's mouth. Now remember, this is the same moron who recently said the 2023 Britannias with the Queen were only minted for 1 week. 1 week. and they were limited edition tributes to Elizabeth. You won't believe it? Look it up. I did a video on it. And then this guy had the gall to sell these Britannias for $60 plus shipping. Hey, Mike, I've got 4 tubes of 2023 Queens that I'll sell you for $60 a coin. Hit me up, bro. Jerk. All right, time to show you guys how much value some of these things can lose and why they're so risky. I'm going to show you 3 different amazing sets by their own right, but sets that lost a ton of money after their release date. Now, first off, we've got Canada's Colorful Maple. This set is from 2016. Very cool wooden display. Love it. Limited to 15,000, so they didn't make many of these. And release price, $200. For an ounce of silver, $200. Price I got it for, $115, which is still hella pricey, but I wanted it. You guys know I like the maples too. So yeah, this was something I wanted personally, but very pricey. And look at the value that it lost. Next up, I've got a Bradford mint issue. And this is a commemorative medal for the 75th anniversary of Iwo Jima. And if you look at this little bubble here, it actually has some of the volcanic sand from the beach. Very cool issue. Opening price, $200 when it was released. Price I got it for, $50 shipped. Talk about crazy losing value. That's unbelievable. So this one got killed, but great display. It displays really well. And last one, this is the one I really wanted to show you. I'm excited about this one. I saw this and I had to get it. This is another Bradford Exchange issue from 2015, and it's limited to a run of only 4,999. Beautiful coin. First time Britannia and Liberty have been featured on the same coin. Awesome. Yeah, but awesome. Very awesome. It's a 1 crown legal tender for the remote island and British territory of Tristan da Cunha. I had never heard of this island. Never heard of the island. It has literally 234 islanders living on it at last count. So you could use this here, you know, on the island, I guess, if they cared much about it. So, and I mean, this is a remote island. The next nearest inhabited island is St. Helena, and that's about 1,200 miles away. So you got to travel a long way to use this silver. Now, I can't talk much crap about this one because I love the design. And it is the first, like I said, to have Liberty and Britannia on the same coin. Issue price, $200. Price I got it for, boy, this one took hell. $27 shipped. Just ouch. Be careful with this stuff, folks. It loses value the second you buy it. And if you haven't seen a trend, that's 2 Bradford Mint exchanges, products that just tanked in value. So be careful about buying it. All right, there you have it. Now, I've given you some examples of risky silver. Again, I'd like to reiterate that I'm not advocating for or against any of the examples that I've shown you today. You know what appeals to you. And always remember that sometimes there's absolutely nothing wrong with going outside the box and rewarding yourself with a nice premium piece that appeals to you. You know, like this maple. Did I need this? No, I didn't need this. But I loved it. I love the presentation. I love the look of it. And it was way overpriced. I definitely wouldn't have spent $200 on it. I actually contemplated $115. But, hey, you live once. Anyway, be sure to leave a comment down below and let me know your thoughts. And if you're much into any of the stuff I've gone over today, I have a blast going through them, and I do try to respond to each one. But hey, that's going to wrap it up for this episode of the Silver and Gold Stack Attack. And if you made it this far, well, kudos to you. I'll definitely catch up with you in the next episode. But in the meantime,
what do you want to do with your life?
damn right, get stacked. Stay safe and be well, everyone. I am out of here. Peace, folks. Have a great weekend.